Well, our subject today is complex fractions, and here's the first problem. Notice we have a fraction divided by a fraction, so we'll turn that into multiplication by inverting and multiplying by the divisor. So that was x over 10, and now the x's divide out, and what are we left with? 9 over 10. And that's our guy right there. So our next complex fraction to deal with is as we have here. So what we're going to do, we have a couple ways to go. We can add fractions upstairs and downstairs and invert and multiply, or we can simply multiply by 1 in the form of the common denominator, which is x over the common denominator. So what we have here then, distributing that x, we get a 5x plus 2x over x. And distributing this x here, we get a 7x plus 3x over x. Now these x's divide out, as do those, and we're left with 5x plus 2 over 7x plus 3. And we're done. Now we have one more complex fraction to deal with, and we'll multiply by 1 in the form of the common denominator over the common denominator, and the common denominator is a plus 1. So a plus 1 over 1, which is just another way to write 1. And now, when we distribute this thing to each term here, we're left with a plus 1 over a plus 1 and minus 1 times that is minus times a plus 1. Now, you need those parentheses there so you remember to distribute that negative. Now, downstairs, we multiply this times this, and we get a plus 1 over a plus 1. And so let's keep going. These divide out, and we just get a 1 minus, and now we'll distribute that negative a minus 1. And downstairs, these just divide out and we get 1. So ultimately, this is our result. Now notice the 1's are going to add out because they have opposite signs, and we're left with negative a. And we're done.